Hello, everyone. I know it's been a while since I have posted a new video on YouTube. Nevertheless, here is a new set of series, and I intend to focus on adolescents and teens and young adults in this series. So, as part of this, we have a special guest here today, whom I'm going to have a conversation with on adolescent mental health. Sangita is here. So Sangita Unni is a psychologist. She's a counselor who has been in practice for more than almost 15 years now. And she's also a good friend whom I've known personally and professionally for more than 12 years. She has a master's in psychology, and she's also a trained and certified counselor to work with adolescents, adults, couples, and families. She works with clients with varied challenges, starting from difficult emotions like excessive anger, panic issues, anxiety, sexual abuse, depression, gender issues, sexuality, relationship couple challenges, parenting, social anxiety, and so on. Sangita uses a trauma-informed approach based on different frameworks. She uses Rogerian, transaction analysis, CBT, NLP, EMDR, somatic experiences, spirituality in her practice. She is also the co-author of the book, The Midnight Years, which is rated among the top 5 books to read for young adults in various forums like Amazon, The Hindu, The Vogue, etc. Sangita has various credentials under her belt, including she has launched a mental wellness app earlier to support young adults in India. Welcome, Sangita.
Thank you for having me here, Kala.
So, Sangita, I know that you're the author of the book, The Midnight Years, focused specifically on adolescents and young adults, their challenges and wellness, along with Jane D'Souza. I'm curious, and I'm sure the audience is also curious, what really prompted you to write the book, and why were adolescents your protagonists?
Sure, Kala. So, the book, The Midnight Years, which Jane D'Souza Gopalakrishnan, who was a very well-established children's book writer, and I said myself as a psychologist decided to write, actually was born out of a very heartfelt conversation between me and Jane. We were actually talking about the news of yet another teen who had lost their life because of suicide. That was a period where there were lots of incidents about young adolescent children taking their lives or self-harming in some way. And because we were also at that point of time parents of teens, it really hit us like close to our heart, right? So we decided that we wanted to do something that would leave them feeling that they were not alone and that they were supported also. So we said we would, we through the conversations, we decided that we would mirror their everyday challenges during this very turbulent time of growth and try and make them feel like there were different options that they could, have different choices that they could make and support systems that were available. We also decided that we wanted to reach a larger number of adolescents, teens, young adults in a shorter amount of time, and hence the idea of the book was that the book as a tool to do that came about. Given that they were a young adult population, young teens who already were challenged with reading, we decided that it can't be a very preachy book or a very didactic book. It had to look and seem real for the children. And hence, The Midnight Years was, the story was created around 4 teenagers who go to a party and the challenges that they experience, not only at the party, but, through life in general at that point of time. So really, we through the book touched upon everyday challenges, everyday mental health, wellness issues like, anger, body image, bullying, tempers, and even love relationships, and some gender issues also we touched upon, along with some mental health illness related issues like binge eating or even anorexic behavior, right? So we tried to touch upon all of this in a very sort of very casual, very easy to read manner. Alongside the story, there is also a very special segment called Talk Space. Now, this talk space was created to provide insights about why they experience what they experience at this age. So, to give them a sense of what is happening within their body and neurologically in their brain, also in terms of development, and to help them understand that all of these factors actually contribute to the way they think and the way they behave. Not only that, Talkspace also leaves the reader with a set of tools, some very practical tools that they can use to manage their emotions with and their mental health and wellness with. So really, it was really about, the I think at the crux of it, um, the book, The Midnight Years, wants to assure the reader that you're not alone in your struggles, that you have different choices that you can make and different types of support that you can ask for. And this age, although very turbulent, can be a super opportunity to building a very healthy life ahead of you. So yeah, that's really where Jane and I were coming from when we wrote the book.
Hmm. I'm really glad that we are actually talking about it right now. Also because the challenges that you're talking about are very relevant and very alive today. And given the digital age that we are in and the level of social media influence that is happening, especially on the teenage and adolescent space when they are actually in their growth years per se. So I think it's very relevant that we are having this conversation right now. So, given the pressures that teens and adolescents face today, as a counselor and a therapist, what would be the top three things that you think they can incorporate in their lives so that they can deal with? We have already established it is a stressful time. How can they deal and cope with these challenges in a healthy manner? Sangita, feel free to directly address our adolescent viewers, please.
Sure. Okay, really, Kala, if you ask me what the top three things are, it's one is, of course, sleep. Okay, 7 to 8 hours of rest is essential. The second thing is nutrition, a well balanced diet with a variety of colors. I'm talking about natural colors on your plate. And the third is exercise or any physical activity for at least 60 minutes, 5 times a week, is also extremely critical for this stage, in this stage of development. It really is not rocket science. It's nothing different from what is already being scientifically established. But what I can do here is tell you why these are so critical for your development and at this stage of life, particularly. So let me get into the why of this. Let's deep dive a bit. Sleep, 7 to 8 hours. Why? Because lots of physical changes are happening inside your body, and even your brain is going through a lot of fast paced changes during this period. This also influences your body clock. You naturally want to delay sleep, hence, you're more inclined to stay up later and longer into the night. But academic demands force early wake ups, leading to sleep deprivation. Since the newer part of your brains are undergoing such a critical, fast paced development, especially in the decision making, emotional regulation, and social behavior aspects, lack of sleep slows down your thinking, weakens your impulse control, and affects self regulation in general. Now, what happens is all of that impacts your academic performance, your relationships, your mental health, and even your self esteem. So, the second thing that I mentioned was eat a nutritious, well balanced meal. So, why? We've already said that there is a spurt in development physiologically and neurologically in your teenage years, right? So you need optimal amount of nutrients to support this development. For example, proteins for growth, hormones, enzymes for repairing tissues, calcium for strong bones, and carbs for energy, micronutrients like vitamin and minerals for various different body functions, including thyroid functioning, immunity, mood balance, etc. Every food choice you make significantly affects your health and functioning during this time. So, to maintain a healthy, balanced, nutrient rich meal with occasional treats is something that you need to choose to do. Okay, now the third aspect of what is important for you at this stage is exercise. Any physical activity for 60 minutes a day, 6 times a week is important for your bone and your muscle development during this growth spurt. It also additionally protects you from, let's say, diseases like obesity and diabetics. You got to sort of understand that physical activity of any type will lead to better sleep, better mood, and also sort of give you better mental clarity. Well, the good news, the bonus in all of this is when you're physically active, it sort of pumps up your happy hormones as well. So therefore, your moods, not just your moods, your emotions, your how you approach the day is much nicer for you, right? An active lifestyle of any type leaves you feeling sort of vibrant, energetic, and more than anything else, you feel like you are in control of your life. This also sort of, when you do this consistently, you also build lifelong healthy habits that's going to sort of benefit you in the long term.
Yeah, thanks for the Sangeeta. Those 3 points were like very relevant and useful, I'm sure. Yeah. So if an adolescent wants to seek counseling, for example, how can they go about it? And if they seek counseling support, what can they expect from a professional counselor?
Now, once an adolescent or a teen notices that they're struggling with some issue, even if you don't know what that issue is, but you're feeling sort of disturbed or different from how you usually are, what you can do is one, talk to a trusted adult or even a friend you feel safe with. They can support you. They can also support you find a counselor trained in adolescent mental health. Now, if you want to seek a counselor for yourself by yourself, you need to look for, like I said, a counselor who is trained in teen mental health. By looking online at various options available, you can, sort of find somebody for yourself. Various options available can be wellness platforms like apps, private practitioners, peer support groups, group therapy, and even hospitals, etc. You can choose which mode works for you as well, which mode works best for you, whether it is online, like a video consultation, or even in person consultation where you go to the practitioner's office. From a professional counselor, you can definitely expect that they will accept you as who you are without any judgment, keep confidentiality, and they will understand where you're coming from your perspective. They will support you through your struggle in an empathetic way, and they will help you move to a more healthier place.
Then what should they look for in the counselor before making the choice?
It's important to look at the counselor's credentials. Do they have a master's degree or a equivalent qualification? How many years of practice that have they had? Now, if it's a wellness platform service that you are leaning towards, then read and research a little bit more about the platform credentials and if there are reviews, if there are any. I think also it's important to look at the ethical guidelines that your chosen therapist follows or prescribes to. when I say ethical guidelines, what I mean is what are their professional boundaries? Counselors cannot be your friends or your relatives. And, they're not people you can hang out with, really. This dilutes the process and impacts the outcomes of the therapy. Hence, this is really important for professionals to maintain their boundaries. The best thing I would say is that you can do is that meet and have a conversation, meet or call or have a conversation with them. Take time and check if you feel connected to them. If you don't feel comfortable, it's okay to switch to a different counselor. What you need to understand, and please do understand this, is that no problem is too big or too small. No two people have the same challenges. They may be similar but not the same. What you face and what you experience is very real for you. Really, you're the captain of your ship, and your counselor co-journeys with you in a supportive manner and helps you reach your destination, your healthier place of growth.
So here we are. Thank you, Sangita, for such a insightful conversation.
Thank you for having me here, Kala, and giving me this opportunity.
My pleasure, Sangita. So, folks, I do want to tell you all that we will have the next set of videos. It'll be a series of discussions with Sangita. We hope to highlight specific problem areas that today adolescents and teens actually face, and how they can perhaps handle them in a healthy manner. So I will see you soon. Till then, this is Kala signing off.